And that's what it's about. You don't know where this journey's gonna take you. You just gotta float freely. It's a river. You could fight against it, or you could just pop open a beer and take the ride. You gotta have that motivation, I think. And at times, that you see me, you've took me out of a lot of dark places just by talking like we're talking now.
Right.
That was very helpful, and
I kind of stopped myself growing in different areas, and that really bit me in the ass like so many times.
Yeah, I feel you.
I always try to like put myself in different positions, and then now I'm realizing to put myself more in uncomfortable positions. That way I can get past that shit.
I believe I believe that 100%.
Sometimes we never really know when we're helping people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like when we do have these conversations, like when I have this conversation,
Especially with men.
Yeah, exactly. Men, we're not taught to be vulnerable. You know what I mean? Open up about shit. But it's healthy. It's healthy to do that. But with somebody you trust.
Oh yeah.
I protect that person. You know what I mean? Person who said like I feel like I can have a conversation.
Wait, you're already recording this?
Yeah. No. All right, what's up, y'all? So it's Fabian Navarro with Diamonds Rising. I'm here with Gabriel with Strain Gardens. And today we're just gonna do a quick episode, kind of get some info, see how the journey has been. And
long journey,
yeah. And what's to come, especially. How does Strain Gardens come about? Like what helped manifest it to what it is today? Because I know, I remember a while, years back, probably, I don't know, maybe a couple years back, possibly. You know what I mean? You were mentioning stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just an idea, and then you were getting things kind of placed in order, and then now to come in and then see there's a whole shop, there's inventory. You know what I mean? You have customers, you have pages. You know what I mean? And people asking about it. How did that come about?
Well, actually, I was one of my good friends, man. Actually, practically my brother by the name of Jose, out in Colorado. He actually put me on and kind of bring me into the industry. He had his own grow shop out there in Colorado and Denver by the name of Cost Plus Hydro. And I was actually doing some outside sales rep for them over here and trying to get things going over here. Unfortunately, that just didn't work out. We usually talk about some things just don't work out. But, he's still my close friend, and we're still, in business, doing other things together. We got other plans in the future here in New Mexico.
Nice.
But he pretty much got me in the industry and got me wanting to do this. Really.
Is he you say you're still in contact with him?
Yes, sir.
Does he still have a business up there?
No, actually, he moved on to commercial growing and other things.
Oh, okay.
So, all that got a lot. He did a lot for me, and I got with Jesus Navarro as well. Childhood. We grew up from childhood, and actually, when things came to the medical past here, we started growing. Doing the medical thing. I had my card, so he kind of helped me out with that, and we just flexed our skills and just took what we knew about it. And basically, it was hard to get equipment. It was hard to get anything, nutrients, anything here in this area. You had to order them on Amazon. Amazon was a mess. The return policy, things come wrong. It was just horrible. So I was driving to Albuquerque back and forth.
Oh no.
And then smoking like I smoke, or I'll forget something. Probably the most important thing.
You gotta drive.
All the way back, or Las Cruces, or Lubbock has some stuff.
So the beginning was basically is just a journey as well, fucking 10,000 hours all at once, keep trying to, put things together. At that time, did you think that it was gonna be like this?
Oh, I knew.
You knew?
I knew something was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Not exactly like this per se,
Right.
but I knew, hard work pays off.
Right.
A good circle pays off.
Yeah, having the right people with
having the right people,
locking arms and doing what you need to do.
Yes, sir. So, and we had plans to put everything together, and sometimes you just come along and on your journey, and the missing keys just fall into place, just out of nowhere. So, we got with another business partner. Me and Jesus got with Jason Emmerich, and we formed Strain Gardens.
Where's Jason Emmerich from?
He's actually from Hobbs.
Oh, okay.
And he was planning on opening a grow shop as well, and he heard about us, and when the 6-7 months before, or a year before, New Mexico went recreational, it was just everybody was scrambling around trying to see what everybody could do, make their plans, the business plans, make things go happen. Checking the regulations every day, and unfortunately, we're actually going to do a grow before we even try to do a grow shop. We're trying to invest our money into an actual grow, at least a micro to 1,000 plant grow.
Okay.
But the piece of property that we had available to us, unfortunately, wasn't on a 10-inch water line, which is required by the city of Hobbs at the time, or still to this. Just a 10-inch water main, just basically saying that you have enough water pressure that you're not gonna take away from your neighbors, or
Okay.
for that many plants, that volume of water. Just a bunch of things, and it was changing. The industry evolves as it goes. So we just took the time to back out of that and just be like, we met Jason at the time. He was trying to do a grow shop. Of course, we had the location already. We had the knowledge, experience, from Cost Plus and Denver, and working with Joe.
Right.
So, it kind of snowballed from there.
Dope. Okay, so basically everybody just had their strengths, and everybody just kind of came together.
Yeah, we just kind of came together and
put a whole Power Ranger suit going on and everything.
Yeah, basically, maybe I was the white one.
I was the white one. That's dope. That's dope. You being here right now, how does it make you feel? Knowing that you did put that many hours, knowing that you were, before you even came up with the idea of like teaming up with the suits, before you even met Jason or anything like that. You being sitting right here, how does it make you feel about it all?
Well, a sense of accomplishment, of course, but a sense of having to do so much more. There's still so much more to do.
Like you can't. Beginning steps still.
Yeah, every once in a while you gotta give yourself your roses, and the people that helped you, the people around you, their roses. Take a breath and then get right back to it, because you can't stop too long, because you get comfortable. Comfortable leads to complacency. Complacency leads to no more progress.
Right. You're gonna stay idle. It's
idle.
Unhealthy to stay idle time, right?
Idle time is bad. I'll get to drinking.
I get to drinking. So we can't be doing that.
Yeah.
So what's the main goal behind Strain Gardens? Like what's y'all's personal goal? As a business as a whole. You, partners, the brand, the name, you being in this location in Hobbs, New Mexico. What's the main goal?
Well, of course, any business's goal is to be successful. And how to be successful? Well, I think taking care of our customers for once. I think there's a whole wave of things to come. People are going to get to growing their own food. This is just the tip of the iceberg. More and more people want to know where their food comes from. Everybody recognizes, hemp and marijuana as a medicine now. So I think it's just going to evolve to a place where it's just going to be more healthy for people in the industry.
Okay.
So we just want to grow, and we want to be a part of that. Wherever it takes us, if we can help people, great. If we can make a little bit of money on the way, even better.
It is for the people. You want to see a lot of people kind of moving towards basically like organic roots for themselves.
Organic food roots, anything to heal. And then of course, for the industry too, the cannabis industry, we're here to support that. We're trying to keep it local. Anybody that comes in the shop with anything we can help them with, we're more than willing to put their products on the table, in the shelves. We have a good guy. He brings the seeds. Actually, he's by the name of Avi Gori. Okay. He comes up with the craziest genetics, and we work with Skunk Gaming as well. So they're real good people, and that's what it's about. It's about helping good people, creating a network, and I've just been blessed by the people we met. We're blessed to have the Lee County Cannabis Club once a month in here, and that's
how's that going?
Oh, it's awesome. It gets better and better every time. Shout out to Candy Denton, and all the Lee County Cannabis crew.
What's the process of that? Like, whenever y'all do have a get together for the cannabis crew, like what is, what are y'all discussions, or like y'all plan on hosting events, or is it just to help one another?
Well, it's just basically we're opening strain gardens to the community so they can have a place to gather and talk about whatever they want to talk about. You know, we don't try to get too involved in their events like per se. We just open the doors for them,
Okay.
and then
So
they do their thing. But we also, you know, try to help out as much as we can,
That's
bring knowledge, and you know, nobody knows everything.
Right.
So, you know, half the time they're teaching us stuff as well.
Mm.
And it's just a great community. Everybody's, you know, brings food. It's potlucks. It's all love. It's hippie.
Dope.
It's
Yeah,
hippie stuff.
That's cool.
You know, watch out for the brownies.
Watch out for the brownies.
You know, they got me a couple times.
Make sure, yeah.
But well worth
label
it.
the
You know,
food.
great people, great food.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, I think that's what it's about. Building a good community. Everybody get together, help one another. Grow food, grow good weed. Hemp for CBD. CBD is just as important as cannabis in my book.
Right.
It helps with so much.
Why is that? Why is that? For the ones who don't know, why is that important? CBD and THC.
Well, it shares a lot of the same healing properties for the people that like work in the oil field. This is a big oil field town. I worked in the oil field for many years, and just the stress of everyday life, especially in the oil field, traffic, everything. You want something to take that edge off, or you know, help you out mentally, physically, help you get rest after a long day. For me personally, after a long day of driving, I get home and I can't sleep. CBD would help me out when I wasn't able to take THC, because you know, I was worried about my job in the oil field. It has a lot of properties, just like THC. So
that does go into my next question I had. I did want to ask, are you guys pro THC?
oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay. That obvious question, obviously. So that's dope.
I got THC all through me right now.
In my body. So, as a business owner towards, you know what I mean? I mean, for a grow store, do you think it's important for people to have their own grow, basically, like their own plants, or do you feel like, you know, dispensaries are like more important?
Just like everything else, it's give or take, pros and cons. I think it's important for the dispensaries to work with the communities, you know, be one with the community, help the community, which a lot of them are. I'm actually proud of, you know, Southeast New Mexico's legal cannabis industry right now. There's a lot of good people out there doing a lot of good things, you know, and there's a couple bad apples out there, but it is what it is.
That's everywhere though.
That's in anything you do, but for the most part, New Mexico in a whole, it's a pretty good industry. There's a lot of love out there. There's a lot of good people doing a lot of good things, and I'm more than willing to help anybody, because you know, the majority of people have extended their arms to us and helped us in many ways. You know, helping this on this journey to get this going. So
that's probably where you met a lot of good folks then, like
Yeah.
the beginning, starting up, you know, they played a part to get you maybe network with certain people, stuff like that.
exactly.
That's dope. So do you think it is important for people, you know, maybe have their own plants every now and then, grow their own stuff?
Oh yeah. As far as, you know, personal gardens, people really think that it's something so complicated, but it really can be done. Like, I grew my first outdoor garden last year. You know, and as a kid, you know, my grandparents, they used to grow fruits and vegetables and stuff, and I really wasn't into too much into it. But you know, the more I research, the more I kind of feel like this is something that we should do, and it's not as hard as it's portrayed to be. You really don't need a whole bunch of chemicals. You don't need a whole lot of this and that. You just need to start with what you got and do what you can. And it's better than doing nothing, because every day is a little bit of progress. You're gonna learn a little bit of something. It's gonna relax you. It's calming.
Therapeutic.
Yeah. No matter what you're growing, it could be, you know, fruits, vegetables. It could be anything. And instead of like, it takes a lot of time. You know, so you're gonna worry about your plants, whatever they are. You're gonna worry about them. You're gonna research. So, you know, the time you spend doing Facebook or anything, it's gonna take away from that time. You know, Facebook is a tool. It's good, but you know, researching and trying to take care of your plants is gonna kind of give you a little bit more knowledge, and
So basically, it's a lot of responsibility.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're like
They-
especially cannabis plants. So like having a bunch of toddlers, you have to check them every day.
new family members.
Yeah,
Do you think it's important for people to have their own vegetable gardens?
yeah. Anything that's organic and you know where it came from,
Mm.
it's key. It's in this day and age, it's for profit. Most of the food industry is for profit.
Right.
I'm not saying that there's everything's just trash and horrible. You just gotta kind of pick and choose, what you eat and grow what you can. Honestly, because when you grow your own food, you know exactly where it's from. You know exactly what's been put into it, and it just gives you that sense of pride and reward when you're feeding other people with something you've taken out of your garden, or smoking with people, with something, quality product that you've taken out of your garden.
And you know for a fact that has everything that's needed for
Mhm.
it. When it comes to like the vegetables and having your own garden, whether you're growing vegetables, fruits, anything like that, what is the difference between organic and then maybe going to, because when you go to the store you see regular, stock and it's regular vegetables and stuff, and then you see organic. So what is the difference between that? Because you did mention that you know what's put into it.
It's just a process of how it's grown. A lot of non-organic, they have synthetic nutrients, synthetics, just stuff, chemicals, pesticides that if they spray it, they can't certify for organic. So if you're growing organic and want to get certified organic, you have to abide by a certain set of rules and standards. You
Okay.
can't use certain chemicals, pesticides, and stuff to get that stamp of organic.
Okay. So you feel like maybe some of those certain pesticides or certain stuff that they put in kind of enhance the growth of it?
Well, anything synthetic is going to give you probably more growth. Honestly, it's technology, but at the same time, you don't know what that's doing to your body. Just like
It just looks good.
anything else, well, just like a human body, you take steroids, what's it going to do to your health? It's going to bulk you up. It's going to get you big, but what's that doing to your heart? What's it doing to your reproductive
Yeah,
organs? You know what I mean?
Right. I hear you. Yeah, and then you hear stories too of people who are on steroids. You know what I mean? They get angry, stuff
But
like that.
yeah, it's the
So, like,
same thing,
you're just consuming bad stuff, basically. Yeah,
Yeah.
to a point.
Yeah, and honestly, you gotta watch what you consume, whether it's eating, what you consume, what you put in your head, what you're watching. Anything you consume has an effect on you.
Right.
So
That's true. You know what I mean? Because the brain's a sponge. When I started off from kids, you know what I mean? Kids, you can teach them anything, certain lifestyle and everything, you know what I mean? They're going to soak it in, even as
Exactly.
adults, without us even knowing, you know what I mean? So I agree with that. I agree with that. What I did want to ask you is, where do you see the world going when it comes to like vegetable or like store food and certain things that they have? Because I just barely seen a video not too long ago, and it was like, because the prices for eggs are crazy right now.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So certain things like that. And I seen a video where it has like the whole facility which produced eggs was on fire. You know what I mean? So it's like I heard a lot of like seen some comments people talking about it, and this is why prices are going up. It's this, it's that, the government. Where do you feel like, you know what I mean, when it comes to grocery stores that have the food and
I mean, it's at this point. I mean, you can't really predict much. Like the world is crazy right now. You really can't. You can't really make plans for next week because you don't know what's gonna happen. So I think it's important for us to kind of do what we can for ourselves and not be so dependent on the grocery stores and the government and anything else, and do what we can and at the same time use our buying power, because if the reason why these foods and all these GMO things are popular is because they're cheap and people buy them. If people stop buying them, they'll have no choice but to stop selling them.
that makes them easy access to it?
Yeah, so it's give or take. It's our own fault. We get comfortable with the fast drive-through meal. We get comfortable with this. We get comfortable with that because life's hard. Life's busy. everybody's out here trying to make a living. We're trying to do this and that. A lot of people don't have time for a garden.
Right. Right.
Um, but
So that kind of, I guess that's where it's like important for like, I guess certain people, even like people, you and your partners like yourselves that do have your own garden. You know, what I mean, you'll be able to basically produce for people like that, right? You know, they'll, like you said, you know what's exactly put into it. It's like, you have your whole family and stuff, and you
yeah,
know, what I mean, you're providing all that for them.
yeah, and just like the whole chicken situation. If you had 3 chickens for a family of 4, that's fine. You be getting chicken eggs free instead of paying $10 a dozen.
You're saving money right there too.
You know, and then just like anything else, if you grow weed, it's like printing your own money. Because how much money do you spend on weed? The average person. How much money do you spend on tomatoes? How much money do you spend on anything else? It's kind of printing your own money.
Right, right. So it's long run process is more better for you.
And it's rewarding and relaxing at the same time, no matter what you grow. And just like anything else, the more you do it, the more you excel at it, the more you get comfortable with it, the more you grow.
It's a skill. You get better, get craftier, sculpted.
Yeah.
Okay, dope, dope. Another question I do want to ask is, are farmers important? You think farmers are important?
Well, I think everybody needs to be their own farmer at this point.
So everybody just needs to enhance that skill of their own?
Well, I think that the farmers had it tough all this time. Like, I think that
Why
the
do you say
public,
that?
I think it's more important for like farmers markets, people to go direct to the ranchers, to the public, because during the meat hike and all that, the ranchers really were. I think they were selling their cows for equal or less than regular. And I might be wrong, but I know the meat went up, and the ranchers, it only makes sense for the ranchers to get paid more. And I don't believe that was happening, but that just goes back to knowing where your food comes from. And anything, stay as local as you can. That's a big thing. Local. Keep your the shorter the food chain. I mean, probably the more healthier the food.
Okay.
Or not only food, the weed, the cannabis, the hemp. There's GMOs out there, synthetic chemicals that don't flush out that could be harmful for you. There's a big thing about the cartridges causing problems because there was synthetic stuff in there that they were using.
Oh, damn, yeah, okay. It's like kind of like the jewels and stuff that people are using.
Oh, no, not necessarily those, but anybody could copy a product and put something in there. When you grow
Okay,
your
you're
own.
talking about like the THC ones.
Yeah, like the THC or the CBDs. There's a bunch of chemicals they use that were harming people or whatnot.
Oh, damn.
So whatever you make, if let's say you grow one thing, I grow another. I grow weed, you grow tomatoes. We trade. I know how you grow yours. You know how I grow mine. We're good.
Peace of mind.
We know someone down the road that grows cucumbers. Let's go take some weed to them and see how many cucumbers we can get.
Okay, yeah. Back to trading.
Yeah.
Trading with each other and shit.
That's important.
That's dope. All right. So farmers are important, but it's more important if you're your own farmer, basically.
Yeah, farmers, ranchers, they're important. Because the average person is not going to have that room to scale. But if a local farmer with 4 or 5, 10 acres of land, they could do a lot, especially for the community growing. So they are important to go direct. Now, by the time they ship their products to the grocery stores and all that, wrapped in plastic, that's when you're adding chemicals to preserve.
That's a process of its own, then, huh? Okay. So speaking of community and farmers and all that, I remember you mentioning a while back about a community garden. How could you maybe help the community?
Well, that's something we're looking at in the future. It's always a plan, and just like this was a plan, it takes time, but that's something we're looking at. A community garden will be something. It's something I've been thinking about a long time, and I think there has to be 1,000 community gardens. I think every church should grow their own food and give to the homeless. Me personally,
Yeah,
and I would like to be a part of that.
I would definitely would. How do you think that could get brought to life? What would be the first steps in your mind?
me running into a pasture at Home Depot, kind of like how this got going. Hey, like, hey, man, you like to go? That's how everything starts. Just takes a little grain of sand, push down the hill, it'll roll into something. Like anything else, that's one of my projects. I'm gonna start with my backyard, and you gotta lead by example. One of my bad habits is trying to force people instead of leading by example. Like to see, like it should be done this way instead of me doing it myself. Man. So I'm working on my garden this year and see what we could do with it. All kinds of experiments.
Right.
And when people see it's not that complicated, it'll hopefully inspire more people to grow.
Leading by example.
Because there's a lot of great growers over here in Southeast New Mexico. The products, for Dank in the Desert, there was phenomenal products out there.
Right.
And we just need to get that same energy into fruits and vegetables and organic growing as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Because if you could grow weed, you could grow tomatoes. If you grow tomatoes, you could grow wheat, and you could grow hemp. Hemp is just as important as weed. Just for like plastics, we need to turn into plastics, papers, stuff like that.
You can use hemp for all of that.
Oh yeah.
Like you said.
Well, it takes a tree 50 to 100 years to mature. Hemp, 100 days, 150 days.
Damn. So imagine you had a whole field of them. Do you know the process behind that?
I don't personally, but I don't know, something
is that in the vision?
Yeah, something interested. No, not at this time, but if I meet somebody with the toilet paper factory and I got a lot of hemp now, hell, we can make something happen.
Yeah. Okay. I'll feel you.
You never know how it'll work out.
Right.
Shit.
Do you have any words for the community or even people who have stayed tuned in, just, watching this long, gathering information, as, a local business owner, and of course, you met numerous people who probably grow their own things, vegetables,
lot of good people,
flowers, stuff like that. Do you have any words for everybody?
Just thanks for all the support. We really appreciate everything. The community is the reason we're here. Everybody contributes something, whether they know or not. There's a lot of people that have put something, even an idea, a word, a inspirational, anything to make this happen, and we really do appreciate it. And sky's the limit. We're gonna go from here and see what this evolves into, and hopefully make some money on the way.
Yeah, dope. All right, dope. Well, that's probably it for the episode today. I think we've came across a lot of great topics and a lot of great answers for, us sitting down and just discussing things, So I do thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, giving me your time, sitting down with me. I know we've been.
I didn't know what to do with my hands.
So much love on that. Appreciate you so much, and then that's it for this episode, y'all. Much love for everybody who has tuned in.
Strain Gardens.
Thank you to Strain Gardens for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who's tuned in. This is Fabian Navarro with Diamonds Rising. And
Gabriel with Strain Gardens.
We'll see y'all later.